Hi, all Agent here, and we are going to talk about why thrusters need their speed boost nerfed. Newest developer, quote unquote, has been clinging to this. They just put out a big rudder and wing nerf, speed nerf on most of the parts except for props and thrusters. They did it because allegedly, it actually was not a reason given. A lot of people seem to think it's because of copters like this, and the rudders gave them about 300 miles per hour, roughly 275 with a decently well built copter in all directions. And I can somewhat understand that. It was very much fun to play, and I didn't feel like it was particularly overpowered compared to some of the other things we're seeing in game. It was actually a good counter to some of them. But I'm okay with that if things like this were nerfed. I don't typically have a problem with Teslas themselves, good sneaky players. Uh, if they happen to get me, great, good on them, but usually it doesn't happen. So I'm not complaining about this particular instance. I could have been looking to the other side and caught him, but you're going to see why as this match goes on, and I'm not going to die at all. So don't sit here thinking that I'm going to complain that something killed me, because that's not the case. So you can just shut that shit down right now. Anyway, you're going to see why this stuff should not be in the game in its current state. It needs to be toned down pretty dramatically. And the guy who put this boost, this whole speed boost thing into motion is known, him and his little group of friends are known for playing this exact type of bot. That's why this is in the game. I'm just going to be brutally honest about what I think here. It's a personal thing. It has nothing to do with game balance. It's, I want this for me and my friends, so I'm going to put it in the game. It has nothing to do with making the game fun to play and balanced. Look how fast and maneuverable this thing is. If I was anything other than what I am now, I would be getting wrecked, and there's really nothing I could do about it. As you can see, the Teslas, there's plenty of them on there for them to remain even under steady laser fire. These are T10 lasers, they're laser disintegrators. T10 SMG, whatever you want to call it, but now they're called laser disintegrators. That's what they are, and you know, I don't have the most perfect aim ever, but I have good aim. Proven it time and time again in videos over and over. Not perfect, but these bots are so fast, maneuverable, and jittery that until they're heavily damaged, you can't. They're very, very difficult to hit and deblade or even to kill unless you have focus fire like we are doing to them and able to everyone focus down on them just like we're doing here with this bot and bring them down. So these guys' strategy is to have a big, giant, massive cubes that goes to the point, and then those super fast Teslas come in and eat everything up, and there's really nothing you can do about it because you can't look in all directions at any one time. You can only look in one direction. So even if you're spinning around in circles, chances are it's going to come up behind you. See how he's able to just cap a point, and he's already over to midpoint before I can hardly turn and face that direction, and it's just too fast. It's way too much map coverage, first of all, even for a non-Tesla bot is way too much map coverage for this game mode, and it is also just way too fast to be balanced against the weapons that we have to use against him in this game. We don't have hit scan anymore. There's travel time to these lasers. They are projectiles, and compared to the movement speed of these bots, it is slow. Another point I'm going to have to make is that Blink was nerfed a while back because we didn't want bots navigating the map that fast and jumping from point to point as quickly as, and it's not even as quickly. These bots are doing it even faster than the bots with Blink on a 25-second cooldown were doing. These bots are able to do it even faster than bots with Blink. They move faster than Blink. You can blink away and the bot is still gaining on you when you blink away. They are faster than Blink, and that to me is unacceptable. The maps were made bigger a while back because they felt too small, and yet now we're going to allow bots to go 800 to 1,000 miles per hour. just doesn't make any sense to me. I think if we want speed and we want the game to be more fun, let's just speed up all the movement parts a little bit. For instance, copter blades, they do 160 miles per hour as a base speed. That is ridiculously slow, especially compared to low tier wheels. Green wheels are like 2 or 204 or 210 or something like that. They have a good base speed. Mech legs are like 145 miles per hour. That is just painfully slow, especially when you're facing bots such as these. You can't have bots that are going like 150 fighting bots that can do almost 10 times that speed. That is not balanced no matter how you try to spin it. It's just not balanced. And a lot of people want to try to say that these bots that are really fast, well, they're really fragile and they have to invest a lot of CPU in being able to get around like that. No, first of all, they're not that fragile. As you can see, they don't fall apart from a couple hits from the laser. And speed is better than armor because you don't need armor if you don't get shot. That's that. So I'm not understanding where all these arguments are coming from and why people are thinking that they're valid, because they're not. They're easily countered debate points that have been basically beaten to death by now, and this kind of stuff just isn't balanced. Like I said, I'm not going to die in this match. They're not going to kill me. Once I was saved right there at the beginning by my teammate. As I learned what we were up against, I'm a little more aware. I look around a lot more about what's going on around me. If you notice, I like to look around a lot, and then I already know how to beat these things because I used to fight Teslas back in the day when they were too fast before. A lot of you might remember that, when they were too fast before, and they also had high health to where you couldn't possibly deblade them before they got to you. Now they just sped it up so that even though they don't have high health, they still get to you so quickly that you can't deblade them in time. It's the same problem we had before. It's just presented to us in a different way under the guise of this guy trying to pretend like it makes the game more fun for everybody. It doesn't. If you want to make the game more fun for everybody and speeds the thing, let's just dump this thruster bullshit in the trash and let's speed up all of the movement parts to a reasonable speed to where you have to think about your engagements. You have to plan what you're going to do next. If you overextend, you pay for it. You can't just fly away or go spinning away as a incredibly hard to hit ball of thrusters wildly flailing through the air. If this is about fun and it's not about a personal thing, let's speed up all of the movement parts. Let's make the game fun with speed for everybody, not just a handful of people who want to be fucking meme clowns and have this meme style gameplay, because it's not fun for everybody else. This is nothing but an annoying match. We're clearly winning it right now. That's only because of the mobility and the bot types we're playing. If we were playing tanks or something slower like mechs, even with copter blades but no massive thrusters and props, there's no way we'd be able to keep up with these bots. We'd be dying too much, and they would actually be able to take and cap those points with that brick. And yeah, it's a bunch of teamwork, but the Teslas could really do it by themselves. If they're killing everybody like they would be able to kill anything on the ground. I'm so glad I did not play a rail, because a rail's nature is to be tunnel visioned. People like to use that as an insult, but that is how the rail works, is you scope in most of the time on something. And even if you scope out, these things are moving so fast that it doesn't matter if you scope out after every shot and look around you. They can come out of nowhere. They can be behind you in seconds, probably milliseconds, and yeah, so they're incredibly good at killing rails. So I'm really glad I didn't play one. I've been playing these copters. This is actually a test for an updated copter after the ridiculous rudder nerf that I was talking about. That was rather heavy-handed. Yeah, it was probably called for, but it was a little heavy-handed. To say the least, especially if we're going to let bots, like I said earlier, go this fast. Why are we nerfing other bots that don't do as well? We're still letting sprinters on the ground. I don't know if you've seen the thruster cluster sprinters, as I call them, with a shotgun on the front. They can do 800 or 900 miles per hour when they leap and fly across the map. Again, like I said earlier, that's too much map coverage, for not just the size of the maps, but for the rest of the bot's mobility. It's too much. It's way out of whack with what the rest of us are able to do if we don't play something that is covered in thrusters. So this whole speed thing, we need to start over. This thruster bullshit needs to go. It's clearly a personal thing. It has nothing to do with actually making the game fun or balance. It's a personal thing for the meme clowns, and that's that. We need to roll this back, get rid of this thruster bullshit, go back to the beginning, and look at our base speeds on all of our movement parts. And we can surely have a speed boost with thrusters and rudders and all that. A very reasonable one, not like what we have now. We can have a reasonable speed boost and reasonable speeds to start with. That would make the game fun and balanced for everybody, not just the meme clowns. As you can tell, I'm a little bit irate at this. I knew when I saw the announcement, I actually called this bullshit too. If I could find the forum post and show you, or the Reddit post, whichever it was, I would, and I probably could, but I'm not going to take the time to do it. I called this bullshit. If you want to research it, go ahead, look up my name and read through all the posts I made on the forums. In Reddit, it's easy to do. If you really care to argue about it, go for it. But I called this bullshit. As soon as I saw that announcement, I knew what was going to happen. And everything I said happened in some way or another. Maybe not as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. Like the ground nerfs, cruisers did get nerfed. There was a ground nerf, but everything happened, and it's complete bullshit. They either need to get this guy straightened out or get him off the fucking dev team and get somebody who knows what they're doing in there. So there it is. We won the match. We managed to beat him only because of our bot type. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.